Hello and welcome back. There are a lot of pre-workout supplements on the market, and a lot of them will make some pretty large claims, and some of these claims might be true and some of them might not be. And that's really one of the main reasons that I started this Ask the Prof series, was to talk through some of the science or lack thereof on different products or different topics, and really try to just help some of the consumers out here who want to follow along figure out what products might work for them and what ones might not. And when it comes to pre-workout supplements, or really any supplements in general, there are a lot of claims that can be made that may or not be true. And so it's often hard to know if a company is being completely truthful or trying to stretch the truth, or not even trying. But there are some great products out there. And so I'm going to cover another one today, and we'll talk through some of the claims that they make, and then also we'll cover some of the science behind it. So let's get started. The product we're going over today is 2Before. Obviously, it is a pre-workout supplement. I would put it more in the competitive space with like a beetroot or something like that, or a beet juice. Ingredient list here is pretty simple. It is New Zealand black currants, roughly the equivalent of 60 berries, monk fruit, and some multidextrin. So that's about it. It's got a pretty simple ingredients list, which I do like. There is two versions. One is a caffeinated, one is not caffeinated. Obviously, caffeine would be added to the or to that ingredient list there as well. Some of the claims that this supplement boasts are performance, improved cognitive benefits, improved blood flow, improved immunity, improved recovery, inflammation, fat oxidation, and training adaptation. Now, there's quite a bit of overlap here, but that's quite a bit to claim all in something with such a small ingredient list. So let's see what the science says to back these claims up. There's actually been quite a few studies done in this area. One study used cycling and showed that cyclists improved their time over a 10-mile time trial, also improved lactate tolerance. Another study showed improved fat oxidation. A study with runners showed improved lactate tolerance and clearance as well. There's been anaerobic benefits shown with cycling as well as running. And then there's been benefits demonstrated in well-trained athletes as well. So if I were to go over all of the studies that have been done on specifically on the New Zealand black currant, I would lose all of your attention. There's a ton of it out there, and most of them are, really pretty positive in showing that there is a benefit from taking this supplement. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, why don't I just eat the actual berry itself rather than taking a supplement? Great question. When it comes down to it, the actual dose is pretty important, and you need about 120 milligrams of the black currant anthocyanins to get the benefits from the berries, or to get the benefits that we've been talking about from all these studies and that we've referenced. And that's the equivalent of about 60 berries. And as I mentioned a little bit before when I talked about the ingredient list, lo and behold, it's about 60 berries that make up the actual supplement serving size. So I'm sure that's no coincidence. I'm sure you're asking yourself also, how does this work, or what's the actual basis for the claims, or for the reason that this might actually benefit us? Without getting too terribly technical, because of the environment that these berries are grown in, the New Zealand blackcurrant has the optimal amount of the cyanidins, or the antioxidant, as well as the delphinidins, or the pro-oxidant. Many of the other berries only have the antioxidant, and they don't have the pro-oxidant portion. When consumed and broken down, this essentially helps switch on the antioxidant regulator in the body. This leads to a few benefits, such as improved blood flow. And improved blood flow can lead to improved performance, recovery, tissue repair, and the ability to deal with inflammation. So all the things that we talked about before that were making that were claimed by 2Before are all dealing primarily with blood flow. And so if we can improve the blood flow, which has been demonstrated in the research that the blackcurrant berry can do, then we should be able to expect some of these benefits. From my personal experience, I started using the product. I started trying with them around the end of the year. So right after Ironman Florida, I started testing it out as I was kind of doing the lead into the CIM marathon to end the season. And obviously the first part of the due diligence that I did was the science behind it, but I also needed to be willing and able to take the supplement before I would, talk any partnership or anything like that. And to be completely honest, knowing it was kind of in the beet juice category, I was a little concerned with how it was actually going to taste. And I can tell you that it was a very pleasant surprise. I was anticipating something that tastes a little bit like dirt, and this was far from it. So it's definitely something that is easy to drink, and it doesn't, it's easy on the stomach. So overall, that was a pass there as well. I've been impressed with how I felt after taking it. Like I said, there is a caffeinated version and a non-caffeinated version. I take 1 serving daily unless I have a really high anaerobic session coming up. I typically take the non-caf version. The caffeinated version has a little bit more caffeine that I would want to take along with my morning coffee. So if I'm doing a shorter, sharper, higher intensity session, but then that's where I'll use the caffeinated version. But for me, it's typically the non-caf. I did take it the morning, 2 servings of it the morning before the race. That's kind of the play on their name there. 2Before is 2Before race day or competition. So I did double up the serving. Had no GI issues or anything like that. It sat well. Everything was pretty much normal. And so overall, I've been impressed with how with my experience with the product, but I've been even more impressed by the research that is supporting it and how they're using that as the foundation for their claims. If you just take a peek at the website, you'll see that any one of the things that they make or claims that they make or anything that they say has a citation to support what they're doing, which is something that is really important to me, and which is really the reason that I was comfortable in joining up and teaming up with them for a partnership. So give them a try. Use the code MATT at checkout for 30% off. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.